Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Prince Aika. Anabedo nyak luoni Prince Aika. Wada chiba wod muribibi wod nyon lagwen ko kuyo. Now, tini eni na tigi koko madit mada ma amiara chak ami bot gamente me Uganda. Muko amiara waj bot gamente me Uganda. O timbe o chwal dwano o bot lutela me matie Uganda kunu. O nyo mati gankan. Kakwena munu tiye pianan pangyo kama lutela gitie. And mere would char mata. I am just a person from the village. I do not know much about the life people are living. But surprisingly, it beat my understanding how the government could wake up and go to do a small, quick survey to determine the state at which a bridge is at, and then within 3 months, make a decision to close the bridge, knowing that there is no alternative route for the people who are crossing through that bridge to use during the course of their construction. Where is Uganda going? My people, where is Uganda going? Uganda tika chero kwene? Ocho kudigo chi chero nero kamoni, chidong chot pup, do miaro yap chakotich. Labong planning. In fact, I am asking, I'm sending this message to the Ministry of Transport and Road Authority, or to the person in charge of UNRA, or to the appointing body of UNRA, that they deserve, the northern people and greater north people, they deserve an apology from government. Government must come and go on TV and publicly apologize to the people of northern Uganda for frustrating the people of northern Uganda by cutting the means of the road, the transportation means or routes that they are using, knowing very well that northern people use only one crossing, which is Karuma Bridge. And there they go. They just close it and start the construction. What did they do? They exposed us, who are trying to survive, who have been in poverty for the last 25 years, 30 to 40 years, to start looking for our alternative routes. Who owe the people of Uganda the mandate to provide the infrastructures? Is it not government? Government, I would have said, before you do something, you should have thought about, what am I going to do? How is it going to affect the people or the users of this area? How am I going to manage the impact of what I'm doing to the people who are moving in those areas? Okay, yes, you owe the people to maintain those routes. You owe the people to maintain the bridge, to make sure it is safe and secure for everyone to peruse, to pass through. That is non-debatable. But did you have alternative for the people who are going to use those routes? Did you provide an avenue where they can pass without being interfered with? Because you don't need to interfere with anybody's business, as long as you are doing your own mandate. You owe it to us that you have to maintain roads, you have to provide infrastructures that are utilizable by the people who are using these areas. It's so sad. I demand an apology from the president to northern Uganda. I demand an apology from the leaders in the parliament to northern Uganda. I demand an apology from the speaker of Uganda to Acholis, to the northern Uganda, not Acholi only, the northern Ugandan people. Okay, now that you've cut off the route, did you think of the costs that people will incur to traverse this long route that you've created without having any alternative close to what we're having? Yes, in many countries, if such scenario come, they consider it to be emergency. Emergency is the responsibility of government to take care of it. You needed to provide us an alternative route and means to make sure our business is not interfered with, our normal operation is not interfered with, because this is not our making. This is your failure to provide the normal basics needs of the people, which include provision of good roads and access to all areas. Okay, I could say yes, it was an urgent call. So what did you do? What did the government do to make sure these people who are using these roads are not affected? One, it would have started with a discussion from UA to pave ways. Before the Karuma Dam was closed, should have paved way to find alternative of can the people utilize the route that are perusing through the national park, and if they can use at what cost, who should meet that cost? And if that is not possible, they should go through long route. What did government do to make sure the cost of transportation is not increased from the normal charges that are being done before? Because that's a responsibility of government. You're doing a job, it should not create more costs to the people who are utilizing the place. It's your responsibility. In other words, I would have said, if government were serious, we have Kira Motors. It's a government project. It's a government infrastructures. It's government initiative. They're having many vehicles that are manufactured, the big buses. Put them in northern region. Let people utilize this and keep the price the same from the route that you are going to provide to the people of northern Uganda. Did it click your mind as people in government? Did you think of that? That could be the best options to curb this kind of inconveniences you're creating to the people. Because making a bridge is a responsibility from government. You have to make sure you do it and maintain them. But did you think of finding the best options that the people of Acholi or the people of Langi or the people of West Nile will use, or the people going through that place to Sudan will use? You did not think of that. So best options could have been create a conducive, quick access to and from northern region, provide or subsidize the transportation cost. Because yes, these people are doing business. You needed to put in money to make sure they keep the price the same, although they will be using long route. This is a clear thinking from a true government who are there for the people, by the people, and to meet the people's demand. We have these Kayola buses, Kira Motors. Why didn't you put it on the road to subsidize all this? Lastly, now I'm looking at the health and safety. Government, why do you want to kill all the people in the name of poverty, in the name of search for job? The Ugandans who are involved in that road construction, the demolition of Karuma Dam, my God, this government, if there is a lawyer who has understood the construction code, could have stopped that work in Karuma Bridge. He could have put an injunction to block that construction, demolition. If you look at the way people are being exposed to the risk during the process of demolition, you'll even shed tears before they die. I don't know how many people so far died or slipped and fell in the water and unaccounted for. I am not quite sure, but I know that people are now dying. They slip and they fall in the Karuma Dam. I look at the way the cranes are lifting the broken concretes with people under it, using the rope. If this rope crack and get broken, how will the people down there survive? What happened to the international safety code of conduct that the government had to implement? Do we even know that the world is looking at what you're doing? Do we know that we have what we call IOSH? It's a body that governs most of the safety requirement of all sort of things. Do we know that we have a board of certified safety body from Canada? Do we know that we have British international safety? Why can't we implement this kind of procedures in place? Did we even conduct the risk assessment for this kind of job? Did we even think of the competency of the people who are going to be involved in this job? Did we even think of providing a mitigation to prevent any kind of risk that might come due to the job? Did we even think of providing an additional mitigation that will make everyone who is working there safe? Just because we don't have a job, we have to wake up in the morning and go and endure that kind of harshness. In fact, I am calling upon the lawyers, the legal fraternity, to go and look at the process of the demolition going on. I don't know really, but I am sure that people have slipped and they have fallen in that Karuma bridge. Life has been lost, which is the violation of safety code of conduct. I know Uganda don't implement, or we don't think of the health and safety, but it's punishable before law. And there's a huge compensation. It's a very big damaging thing. In fact, I don't know even whether the construction company which is doing this renovation is even qualified to do the job. I don't know whether they meet the required safety standard that is supposed to be involved during the process of that job. People, look at what is going on in Karuma now. Media fraternity, what are you doing? You're not exposing this kind of thing that is going on. Why? Is it okay for Ugandans to die because they need jobs? I'm so frustrated. Call me Prince Aika. What are you? What more be? What you like? Lutua, obey more careful. Karoma be tear down my pole, my tech to twal. Cow near more kid my teacher to make it. Danotika breaking the bridge, manugu chunka mama, danotika porepi, maber ngaroma paroma accounting po. I porepi chichar, porepi chichar. Pimir me chente metich. Kungamente o miargo providing one safety. Manuti tika time. Paroma teach kid magi the way tia time only. Members of parliament maagitung Northern Uganda. We need you to go and demand for implementation of full safety in the construction of this bridge. We need the bridge, but we also need the people who are doing the job to be alive. Wamiro jumatika tiutiji with bridge benegu bed makwo. Safety is first, then life follows. If you're not safe, then why are you doing the job? Otimakija logo makedwan matak to twaltin. In fact, Jomagaroma swal dwana o bobot Jomagaroma winyu dwana uchwal dwana in okun. Indeed, it's a very painful thing if you see the way the construction, the demolition process is going on. People are at a very high risk. People are going to lose their life because of that. There is no safety put in place. There is no mitigation. There is no nothing. It's a kaliwali job. Just go and do it. If you survive today, fine. If you don't survive tomorrow, no, you don't go home. We are going to have orphans. No, we go to Karuma. Afo mata kotima be, luba gogo.